What's up, YouTube? James, Big E here, and I know I said I wasn't going to be making a bunch of videos and over the next week or whatever yet again, but here I am. I don't know, late at night, my brain starts thinking and going on, and I often can't get to sleep before 2 or 3 a.m., sometimes 4 lately. And so why not just ramble to my laptop for a little bit? So it's late, let's ramble and talk about stuff. I worked today. I hung out, got a lot of drawing and stuff done that I needed to do. Been staying real busy. I've been actually very, very busy. I've got a few cool things coming up this week. I'm doing a floral, stomach, lower abdomen piece tomorrow. Doing a neo-traditional owl and pocket watch, which is going to be pretty cool. I got to take an owl that I drew up a long, long time ago on a flash sheet I did, and I got to rework it into a new tattoo. And I never got to tattoo the old one I drew up, so it's cool to finally get to use that art and repurpose it and update it, because I drew it so long ago. So that'll be fun. Beyond that, work's been real busy, and I don't know if any of you watched the video I posted up a while back when we first got into the new shop about how it all came about and why we decided to leave the other shop, and personally what the change of jobs really meant, and why it happened, and how it came about, and all that sort of stuff. Let's see if I could do this here without it playing too loud in the background. Alright, yeah. So yeah, this video here, actually 148 views, which for this channel is pretty solid. So if you happen to watch this video, you know that I referred to the shop I used to work at as Tattoo Shop X, and the owners of that I did not name specifically. And I didn't want to stir anything up or make anything apparent or speak ill of my former employers. And I still don't want to speak ill of them, but I'm very much in this mindset now because of something specific where I'm like, you know what, fuck that. I'm not going to speak ill, more so than explain a little anecdotal story that happened today. As you do when you leave a job and you leave a tattoo shop, you stumble across stuff of theirs on the internet. Tattooing is a very social media reliable or relied on sort of job. Like, if you don't have Instagram and Facebook and every possible social media, you're probably doing it wrong. I don't have a Snapchat, so that's probably one further outlet I could be utilizing to promote myself and my business and all that. I just don't like Snapchat. But anyway, every tattooer and every tattoo shop everywhere is on social media. Excuse me, yawning starting already. So, of course, my old employer is on social media, and for a long time when I was working there, I ran the social media. It turns out that after I left, they had to kind of restructure it and whatever. And because of the fact that I was the only one that worked over at that shop on Sundays, when we moved over to the new shop, I ended up being the only one working Sundays. God damn, this one might not last long. But anyway, I'm the only one that works at my shop on Sundays, at the new shop, and I was the only one that works at the old shop on Sundays. Sundays to me are like my day where I end up starting the week out right. I generally tattoo a fair amount of people on Sundays, and the reason I chose to work on Sundays is because there's not a lot of competition in this town on Sunday. 99% of the other shops around are closed or don't work full hours. Fuck me. And so I would utilize Sundays as a day to jumpstart my week and have very little competition in town. So I'd be like the only dude that you can go and get a tattoo from. And people know that. They know that for a long time. I've been the Sunday dude for years in this town. And not only do customers and clientele know that, but my former employers are aware of that as well. So, in a very sort of pathetic-looking scramble, they decided to open on Sundays, or stay open on Sundays. God damn, I am sorry for the yawning. Fuck. Christ. So yeah, they decided to stay open on Sundays. And not only be open on Sundays, I guess they hired some other tattooer, which is cool. That's their prerogative. It's their business. They're welcome to do that. But then they posted on Facebook a special discount on Sundays only. Apparently starting next week, you can go to my old job and you can buy one $60 tattoo and get another $60 tattoo for a friend for free. So they're opening on Sundays, and part of me thinks it's out of spite, although the reality is that it's probably desperation, where they're giving away free tattoos just to get people in the damn door on Sundays. Part of it, I know, is a little bit vindictive, trying to take business away from me. And that's fine. Because, let's be real, if you are to the point where you're scrambling that hard and you're trying to give away tattoos, you're not very successful in the tattoo shop game. I've worked Sundays for 9 years in this county, and I've never had to give away tattoos to make a buck. Or to try to expand my clientele. And that's fine. I get it. It's just a sad, sad look. That studio, Tattoo Shop X, as we were calling it before, has fallen a long, long way from the days when I started there, and even leading up to the time that I left there. Like, it's just continually just downgrading. It's stepping down and falling off. And it's nobody's fault but theirs. The reason we all left is because they were running the shop into the ground, and I feel comfortable saying that now, and I don't care anymore to try to save face, because I'll be real, and I'll be 100% dealing in realness. We all left because the place was turning into a nightmare. It was turning into a shithole, and nobody gave a fuck. Until after we left, suddenly fucks were given, and some bitter things were said, directed directly at me personally. And I didn't take kindly to that, so I went about it. For those who don't know, made a little Instagram post as a reminder to everybody in the area. I work on Sundays. I do solid, clean tattoos on Sundays in the town that I live in, and I do them reasonably priced, and I do them in a studio that is not only gorgeous and clean and welcoming and comfortable, but well ran by people who give a shit about their business, and it shows when you walk in the place and look at it. That's all I'll say about that. I felt a little salty about that. I may have specifically planted some hashtags that are taking shots, shots fired. But you know what? The fact that they're trying to give tattoos away to take business away from me down the road, when they had no interest in doing that before, fuck them, right? I may be a petty person because of that. It may make me seem small or petty or like I am trying to like stir up shit, but really they stirred the shit. So it's not, and I don't encourage anybody to speak ill of that shop or those people there. And I obviously don't encourage people to go take them up on their free tattoos. Because honestly, when you give away tattoos, how easy is it to not care about the tattoos that you're doing for free if you're not making any money off of them? If you want to go check them out and you live in this area, you know where they're at. I'm not going to stop you. All I could say is that I'll do a good tattoo on you for a reasonable price, and I'll stand by my work, and you can get it done in a great shop where people care about you and they care about the business, and we want nothing more than to make cool art on cool people in a cool place together, and be a good like pillar of the tattoo industry and the local community here. Which there are some announcements coming up for Forever Faithful Tattoo Gallery. I'm not going to mention them here. When they do come up, I'll blast it out on the YouTubes and the Facebooks and the Instagrams and all that. Follow my Instagram to keep your eyes open for that. If you don't already, check it out. Beyond that, I am patiently waiting. The days seem to be going by slower and slower leading up to my little vacation. I know it's just 2 days or whatever that I get out of town. I can't wait. Time's just inching by, slowly leading up to it. Outside from that, I've been thinking a bit about family lately, as far as my family goes. Those who don't know me, quick explanation. My family is, for the most part, great. My dad's side of the family, my dad, my mom, my dad's mother, my grandma, my dad's dad, my grandfather, all great, wonderful people. My dad's brother and sister, my aunt and uncle, awesome. I've got some good cousins and stuff on this side of the family, some with some drama, some others not so much. But I get along with my dad's side of the family a lot, for the most part. I have no beef with any of those people. We all get along and care for each other, and that part of my family really matters to me a lot. There's a whole other half of my family, and I'm not going to say that I don't care about them, or they don't matter to me, but I felt like for a long time, not much mattered to them regarding me and my dad and my mom. So they've been sort of estranged for some time. Comes up like once every 5 years, we'll hear from them, and they'll be visiting or something down here in Florida because they all live out of state. And it seems half-hearted and sort of forced, and it's very upsetting. Shit, I don't want to get too deep into it, but I'll get a little deep into it. My mom is the greatest person I know. She is the sweetest, most giving, selfless person I've ever met. She has my whole life, and her whole life even. She's been diagnosed with manic depression, I believe bipolar disorder, and a number of other psychological disorders that affect her mood and her ability to function some of the time as a productive member of society. These things it's something I've had to deal with, like, for half of my life growing up. For my whole life growing up, half of the time, my mom was in and out of mental rehabilitation facilities. There were times where, like, the longest point was nearly a year, like 9 months or so, something like that, maybe longer, where my mom was at a facility getting the mental help and counseling that she needed to get her brain and her life back in order so she can come back and live with us and take care of herself and function properly with a level head. And generally, after some time, we sort of figured out that what sets this off and what triggers it is whenever she has extended contact with her side of the family. Particularly her mom and older brother, and her sisters are okay, they're fine. But they very much, I think, view things, and I can't speak for them directly, but how we see it is it's out of sight, out of mind. My mom's down here in Florida, thousands of miles away. It only comes up when they want to come visit to basically, it feels like, check it off the list so they don't seem as if they're completely ignoring her or completely estranged from her. It feels like they do that just to, like, check a box to feel better about themselves. And when they do come visit, it's never great. The amount of criticism and problematic, like, conversation that they speak about my father is absurd. Also does not help the situation. My parents aren't without their problems, but they're good people. My dad is a great dude, and he has stood by my mom through all her problems for all these years, like over 30 years now. And that's more than I can say for any of them. So it's strange because I've been thinking about it lately. Like, I don't really talk to those people. I have cousins on that side of the family. I've lived in Florida most of my life. They've lived in other states, Ohio, Missouri, random place, Colorado, stuff like that. And we don't really have a reason to engage and to speak other than, like, the once every 5 years I decide to come down here and throw my mom's brain and life into upheaval again. And it's kind of sad, it's unfortunate, but I don't need to pretend like they mean a lot to me when honestly I don't feel like I've ever meant a lot to them, nor has my mom. She's always been sort of the black sheep outcast of the family, at least from our angle, and that's fine. She doesn't need them either. Although she would give her, the shirt off her back for her family and for people who she cares about, not everybody's like that, and it's unfortunate and sad. So I've been thinking about that lately and how sort of strange it is, because I see them, like, they've added me on Facebook and stuff, and I've had, like, moments where I've had words with some of them, and it was never very pretty, and I feel like it's better off to see them doing okay from a distance on Facebook and me doing my thing, and we don't have to hang out. We can just be people on our own ends of things and live our lives separately and not have to come together. It's fine. Like, if you're in town or whatever, we'll do the obligatory social contract, like, okay, I'll see you when you're in town, cool, alright, bye. And then we'll go for X amount of years. Although I had some cool cousins. I haven't seen any of my cousins on that side of the family since I was pretty young, like in my early teens, I think 12, 13, whatever. But, like, I got along with them for the most part. But again, they're doing their thing, living their life. Everybody's grown up and either married or working or going to school or having kids or doing whatever. And that's cool. Like, I'm happy for them that everybody seems to be living a good, comfortable life. And that's fine. I'm okay with it. But it's one of those things, like, family is a weird thing. Like, it should mean something to you, and it should matter, but you shouldn't feel obligated. I feel like the lesson is you shouldn't feel obligated to be forced to interact or deal with people in your family if they don't deserve it, they don't earn it. They have a saying that friends are like the family that you choose. That's very much true. And while you can choose your friends and the people that you do want to spend your time with and be around and have involved in your life and, a part of what you're doing, you don't have to do that for actual family. Just because there's blood there doesn't mean that it matters. Like, blood is not thicker than water. It's one of those things, like, I got some great friends. My coworkers, people I've been working with for years. My girlfriend Allison's family are amazing, and I very much enjoy them. Other, like, really good friends that I've made here and there, different places or whatever. My great friends Jackson Logan, who started out, like, as, like, friends of the old shop I worked at, and became very tight friends with me and Allison, and now are, like, two of the few people that I ever really hang out with outside of work. So, and I fucking love them to death. They're great people. I wouldn't trade them for anything. They're some of the best friends I've ever had. My buddy Alex, who we've been friends since, like, I was 10 and he was 8. This is, like, 5th and 3rd grade, respectively. And 20-plus year of friendship going on. And my friends that I've met playing Magic, my buddy Sean, my buddy Nick, all of the people that I see or have something in common with or spend time around by choice, I would much rather have in my life than people who happen to be born in the same bloodline as me, but may not necessarily, like, have anything in common with. So, just keep that in mind. You don't have to be friends with your family. If your family is either shitty to you or doesn't put the effort in, you can absolutely just stop and not have to worry about them. You don't have to feel obligated. Which is fine. Like, don't feel bad for it, is all I'm saying. Like, obligation to family is, I think, unhealthy if they're not worth your time and worth your effort. That got deep for a minute and super fucking serious. Just scrolling through the old Instagram here. Yeah, fuck. That took a dark, deep turn. I got really deep. Yeah, the stuff with my mom, though. My mom's great, and she always goes above and beyond and well out of her way, I feel like, partially to make up for some of that stuff when I was younger. And it's totally unnecessary, but she does it anyway. And I do love her for it. We're not very affectionate as a family. I have this weird thing where, like, if I talk to my parents or whatever, I don't tell them I love them. My mom tells me all the time. I'm like, yeah, you too, whatever. My dad doesn't really express emotion at all. It's probably where I get it from. But I do. I do love him. Yeah, it was weird growing up when you know that your family life is weird. I had to grow up under weird circumstances where, like, some of the time throughout my whole life, about 50-50 was, like, just me and my dad trying to do our thing. And then my mom would be gone. And then she would come back and she would catch up and get back integrated into the swing of things. And then again, like, it would happen and it would be a cycle. Shit. And she's been good for a few years now, though. She's been really, really solid and has only slightly backslid a little bit. And it's not her fault. She can't control it much as she would like to. It's just a matter of her staying properly medicated and relatively stress-free. I think it's a matter of stress, and her family causes nothing but stress. So, as long as she keeps up on her meds and keeps the stress level at least a minimum, or a pseudo minimum, she's good. She's great. You know, she works. She helps my dad pay bills. She functions and does her thing, and she gives way too much of a shit about me. Like, my mom fucking worships me. I've never seen anybody, like, those stupid memes, like, I wish somebody looked at me the way that whatever, whoever looks at her, like, I bet a lot of people wish somebody looked at them the way that my mom looks at me, because she looks at me like the fucking the sun shines out of my ass. And, I mean, I look at me that way sometimes, but that's because I'm an only child. But yeah, I had to grow up very quickly. I was, for a good portion of it, making sure that I got up, I got breakfast, I got myself to school. I did my homework, I got good grades. I made sure that, I was able to do things like spend time with friends or go to baseball practice when I was a kid. My dad made sure to facilitate as much of that as possible between working nights and shit. So, he worked really hard to make sure that I had as normal an upbringing as I could. But there were some times, man, I got some stories, and I don't want to specifically tell any of these stories out of, like, respect for my mom, because I don't know that we, like, those things when, like, she comes back home and things are going okay again and she's getting back into it, we don't talk about what happened. I think it's just a measure to avoid it happening again or whatever. You won't talk about, like, oh, well, this weird shit happened, or you did this, or you did that, or you said this, or this is what happened. But fuck, are there some stories. If you know me well enough, you may have heard some of them. If you know me really, really well, you may have been around for some of them. Yeah, it's been crazy growing up. But yeah, I had to, spend a portion of my life growing up pretty quick. Earlier than most. And I feel like I'm a better person for it, though, in a weird way. Not to say I'm better than anybody else that had a normal, fun, happy childhood where both of their parents were around all the time and they didn't have to learn how to be more of an adult than one of their parents half the time. But, like, because of the things that I had to go through or whatever, I feel as if I feel as if I was able to adapt quicker, and I feel like I'm able to deal with a lot of stressful situations. And I'm probably a little bit, like, turned off on the inside as far as emotionally goes. Like, I'm probably shut off from the world a little bit more. Like, I don't let shit get to me. I don't let shit bother me, because I know that things could be much worse. Part of the problem, I think, with many people is that people let things get to them too easily, and I do not. I am fucking sorry for these yawns. My brain is just cut off from oxygen, apparently, and I can't even handle it. So yeah, that was it, man. We got deep and serious and rambled and went into it. Not much else going on. I pre-ordered the 20th anniversary vinyl of Atmosphere's Overcast. So that should be here in October. That was cool. I fucking love Atmosphere. And music in general. That's about as rambling as I think I'm going to get. That was it. I just felt the need, and I'm way more tired than I expected. So I appreciate everything, YouTube. Yada yada, end of video stuff. You know what to do. Yeah, we're a good 30 minutes in. Jesus, that went by quick. So, to those who have family members who don't involve themselves in your life or don't go and put effort into being a part of your life, they don't deserve to be in your life. So fuck them. You know, you don't have to owe anybody anything. They tell you, like, the whole respect your elders, respect your family members, respect those older than you and whatever, that they tell you when you are a kid. Like, I get what they mean by it, but it's complete bullshit. Respect should be earned. If I ever have a kid, I'm going to tell them, look, I'm your parent, your mom's your parent, we mean the best for you, and we're going to try to do well. But stand up for yourself and don't take bullshit. Question things. Question everything. If there is reason to not buy into what somebody's trying to sell you, then express that and learn from that. And not respect your elders. Respect those who earn your respect. And care about and love those who care about and love you back, and don't just give in to pandering to people because they happen to be family. That is the lesson I think that kids should be taught. Respect your elders is bullshit. Elders don't do anything for you unless they do something for you, right? They don't deserve respect just for being old. That is stupid. That is the dumbest shit I've ever heard, actually. I'm kind of mad at my dad a little bit for telling me that, my grandma and stuff like that. Like, I respect them, not because they're older than me, but because they care and they try to do the right thing and what's best and have tried to teach me decent values and stuff. Respect your elders, not a decent value. Fuck your elders unless they are worth respecting and caring for. Same with your family. If your family's good with you and they're cool with you and they care about you, then yes, love and respect and keep them close and tell them that you love them. If they're not, fuck them. Doesn't matter. You can have friends and acquaintances and pets and all sorts of other beings that can fill that sort of gap in your heart. You don't have to, just because they're family, worry about them if they don't worry about you. So, that being said, question everything. Don't respect your elders unless they earn respect. Respect should be earned, not given blindly. And, yeah, that is today's life lesson, kids. Shit. We got real. I only deal in realness. That fake shit, this is for the birds. It's not for me. The folks still suffering in Houston from Hurricane Harvey, keep your heads up. We're about to get either smashed by Hurricane Irma, whatever the fuck, they can't come up with a better name for a hurricane. It's either headed right at us here in Florida, or the thing that always happens is going to happen, where it's going to bounce the fuck away from us or turn direction last second. We'll see. I doubt I'm going anywhere, but, we'll see. So long as I have a house to come back to next week and I'm not sitting in fucking 3 feet of water, you'll hear from me again soon on this channel next week sometime. And those who make it to this point, I love y'all. You guys rule. And that's officially fucking it. Yada yada, subscribe, share, comment, like, whatever. I don't care. Do what you want. But I'll talk to you soon.